Number 1, which graph represents the function f given by f of x equals sine of x, where x is measured in degrees? Remember last week we talked about the graphs of sine and cosine. Remember the graphs of cosine, for example, graph of cosine starts at 1, goes down to -1, and back up to 1. Okay, so the cycle begins and ends at 1. So A and C here represent cosine, whereas B and D represent sine. The graph of sine, the cycle starts and ends at 0. It starts at 0, goes up to 1, down to -1, back up to 0. So in summary, cosine, the cycle begins and ends at 1. Sine, the cycle begins and ends at 0. So B and D represent graphs of sine. The question is, which one of these is in degrees? Because it says x is measured in degrees. In this case, B has an x-axis in degrees, so B is the answer to number 1. Okay. Whereas in number 2, okay, we're doing the same exact thing. Which graph represents the function f given by f of x equals sine of x, where x is measured in radians. Okay, so if B is in degrees, that means D has to be in radians. So the answer to number 2 is D. So in summary, the answer to number 1 is B, and the answer to number 2 is D.